Last Tuesday evening was sitting in my kitchen, watching the rain streak down the window, feeling that familiar restlessness that seems to settle in more often these days. You know that feeling when the house feels too quiet, but somehow too cluttered at the same time. When you've finished your dinner, maybe watched the news, and there's still so much evening left, but nothing feels quite right. I found myself thinking about my neighbor Eleanor, who moved here from Minnesota 5 years ago. Every time I visit her small apartment, I'm struck by something I couldn't put my finger on until recently. Her home feels different. It feels peaceful. Not just tidy, but truly calm in a way that makes your shoulders relax the moment you walk in. That's when I started learning about something that Scandinavians call hygge, pronounced huga. But this isn't about fancy Danish furniture or expensive candles from the home goods store. This is about a way of creating contentment in your everyday spaces that costs almost nothing and works especially well for those of us who've reached that stage of life where we're spending more time at home, whether by choice or circumstance. You see, in countries like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, people consistently rank among the happiest in the world, despite long, dark winters that would make our toughest February seem mild. They've learned something about creating sanctuary within their own four walls that we Americans, with our busy, busy, busy mentality, are just beginning to understand. And here's the beautiful part: you don't need to redecorate your entire home or learn a foreign language. You just need to shift how you think about the spaces where you already live. The foundation: simplicity and warmth. The first secret is what Scandinavians call Lagom, having just enough, not too little, not too much. Think about your kitchen counter right now. Is it covered with appliances you rarely use? You've been meaning to sort, or decorative items that require dusting but don't bring you real joy. The Scandinavian approach isn't about throwing everything away. It's about keeping what serves you and gently letting go of what doesn't. I started with my living room coffee table. For months, it had been home to 3 remote controls, a stack of magazines from last spring, reading glasses I'd forgotten about, and a decorative bowl that somehow collected loose change and hair ties. Instead of seeing this as organized chaos, I began to imagine that table as a small island of calm. I kept one book I was actually reading, moved the remotes to a small basket, and placed a simple white candle in the center. Not because candles are Scandinavian, but because that particular candle, vanilla, scented in a sturdy glass holder, made me think of the kitchen of my childhood home. The change was immediate. Every time I walked into that room, instead of seeing a to-do list of things to organize, I saw a place that invited me to sit down and breathe. That's the magic of Lagom. It's not about perfection, it's about intention. Light and texture. The second element is how Scandinavians think about light, especially during the darker months. They don't fight against the winter, they embrace it. Instead of flooding their homes with bright overhead lights that can feel harsh and institutional, they layer softer light sources. A table lamp here, a floor lamp there, maybe string lights around a bookshelf. This might sound familiar if you've ever noticed how much more relaxed you feel in a nice restaurant compared to a grocery store, even though both are well lit. It's about the quality and warmth of the light, not the quantity. In my own home, I started turning off the main ceiling light in my bedroom around dinner time, relying instead on the bedside lamps and a small lamp on my dresser. The room immediately felt more intimate and restful. It was like giving myself permission to wind down naturally instead of staying in that bright daytime alertness until the moment I tried to fall asleep. And here's something wonderful I discovered. You probably already own everything you need. That reading lamp you use in your favorite chair, the night light in your hallway, even the warm glow from your television in the evening. Start noticing which lights in your home make you feel calm and which ones make you feel like you're still at work or running errands. The power of routine rituals. But perhaps the most important Scandinavian secret is how they turn ordinary daily activities into what they call cozy rituals. This isn't about adding more to your day, it's about bringing more awareness and intention to things you're already doing. Take your morning coffee or tea. Instead of drinking it while checking your phone or rushing to start your day, the Scandinavian approach would be to make the coffee itself part of the pleasure. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hands. Notice the steam rising. Maybe you sit by your favorite window for those first few sips, watching the morning light change in your backyard. I started doing this with my evening routine. After dinner, instead of immediately turning on the television, I began making myself a cup of herbal tea. Nothing fancy, just celestial seasonings, chamomile from the grocery store. But I'd put it in my favorite mug, the blue one my daughter gave me 3 Christmases ago, and I'd sit at my kitchen table for 10 minutes just drinking my tea and looking out at the bird feeder. No agenda, no productivity, just those 10 minutes of warm tea and quiet observation. What surprised me was how much I started looking forward to this small ritual. It became an anchor point in my day, a gentle transition from the busier daytime hours to the more reflective evening ones. Seasonal comfort and natural elements. One thing that struck me about Scandinavian culture is how they work with the seasons instead of against them. Here in America, we often try to maintain the same energy, an environment year-round, air conditioning in summer to feel like spring, heating in winter to feel like summer. But the Scandinavian approach teaches us there's wisdom in letting our homes reflect and embrace the natural rhythm of the year. During the shorter days of late fall and winter, this might mean adding a soft throw blanket to your favorite reading chair. Not because you're cold, but because the texture and weight of it feels comforting. Maybe it's the Afghan your sister crocheted years ago, or that fleece throw you picked up at Target and that's been folded in the linen closet. The point isn't the expense or the origin, it's the feeling of being gently embraced while you read your book or watch your evening programs. I also started bringing small touches of nature indoors. Not in a complicated way, but simply. A small potted plant from the grocery store on my kitchen windowsill. I chose a hardy little pothos that doesn't require much fuss. Sometimes I'll bring in a few branches from my backyard when they're budding in spring, or arrange some colorful leaves in a mason jar during autumn. These aren't grand gestures, just gentle ways of staying connected to the world outside when I'm spending more time inside. In summer, I open my windows wider in the early morning and evening, letting the cooler air flow through while I have my coffee or tea. It's amazing how much more alive a room feels when it's breathing with the outside world rather than sealed off from it. Creating calm corners. The Scandinavians have taught me something valuable about not trying to transform your entire home at once. Instead, they focus on creating what I like to call calm corners, small spaces that become your go-to spots for peace and reflection. Maybe yours is that chair by the window, where the afternoon light is just right for reading. Or perhaps it's one end of your couch with a side table for your tea and reading glasses. The key is to claim this space intentionally and keep it ready for moments when you need to feel grounded. My calm corner became the corner of my bedroom, where I have a comfortable chair I'd barely used before. I moved a small bookshelf within arm's reach, added a soft reading light, and kept a small basket nearby for my current knitting project. Now when the world feels too noisy or demanding, I know exactly where to go. It's become my refuge, not because it's fancy, but because it's mine and it's prepared for the kind of quiet I need. This is especially important for those of us who might be dealing with the loss of a spouse or the challenges of living alone. Having a designated peaceful space gives you somewhere to go that feels intentional and nurturing rather than just sitting wherever you happen to be when loneliness or worry creeps in. The emotional benefit. What I've discovered through this Scandinavian approach is something deeper than just having a tidier home. It's created what I can only describe as emotional spaciousness. When your environment feels calm and intentional, your mind has permission to be calm too. I used to feel guilty about spending quiet time at home, as if I should always be doing something productive or social. But the Scandinavian wisdom teaches us that there's deep value in contentment with simple pleasures, the warmth of a mug in your hands, the soft light of evening, the satisfaction of a space that reflects your need for peace. This has been especially meaningful during times when getting out isn't as easy as it used to be, whether due to weather, health concerns, or simply the natural changes that come with aging. Instead of feeling trapped at home, I've learned to feel embraced by it. There's also something to be said for the sense of accomplishment that comes from creating these calm spaces. It's not about impressing anyone else, it's about the quiet pride of knowing you've made your daily environment a little more beautiful and peaceful for yourself. You've honored your own need for serenity. Practical starting points. If this resonates with you, start small. Tomorrow morning, choose one surface in your home, maybe your bedside table or that spot by your favorite chair. Clear it completely, then put back only what serves you right now. A book you're reading, a glass for water, perhaps a photo that makes you smile. Notice how different that space feels. Try the lighting experiment I mentioned. One evening this week, turn off your overhead lights after dinner and see what your home feels like with just lamps and softer light sources. Pay attention to how your body responds. Do your shoulders relax? Does your breathing slow down? Create one small ritual around something you already do daily. It might be making your bed in the morning, watering a plant, or having your afternoon snack. Bring a little extra attention and care to that activity, not because you have to, but because you deserve those moments of gentle intention. Remember, this isn't about creating a perfect home or following rules. It's about discovering what helps you feel most like yourself in your own space. The Scandinavians call this att vara sig själv, to be oneself. Your calm corner might look completely different from mine, and that's exactly as it should be. I'd love to hear about your own experiences with creating calm in your home. Have you tried any of these Scandinavian-inspired approaches? What small changes have made the biggest difference in how you feel in your own space? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might be exactly what another listener needs to hear today. If this conversation has been helpful, I hope you'll subscribe to Senior Living Easy for more gentle wisdom about making these years as peaceful and fulfilling as possible. And please share this with a friend who might benefit from a little more calm in their daily life. Your home is your sanctuary, and you deserve to feel truly at peace within its walls. Take it one small, gentle step at a time, and trust that you already have everything you need to create the calm you're seeking.